Alright, what's going on, guys? Skype Techlifetoday back in another video. And in this week's Techlifetoday podcast, as you know, we're 17 weeks into the live stream, or this weekly podcast. This is incredible. Thank you guys so much for that. I can't believe we're already that far into this Techlifetoday weekly podcast. I mean, quite frankly, that's incredible. We can't thank you enough for that. I mean, that's kind of crazy to see that we've gone 17 weeks with the Techlifetoday weekly podcast. But anyway, this is the very first time we've really changed the design of this podcast. We've changed the forms to now, as you can see here on the top, this is Blackberry Priv. It says what we're going to be talking about, which I like a lot. On the side, or the left side, you see the screen, so you can see what we are moving or seeing. On the right, you can see our logo as well as a slideshow showing you like the different products, different things that we like to talk about. And then on the bottom corner, or bottom right corner, you see all our social networks, so you can see everywhere where you can follow us. And quite frankly, a lot of people are asking, so we decided, you know what, let's just implement it into all our videos. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Let's get into the live stream. So this week on the Techlifetoday podcast, we'll be talking about the Blackberry Priv, the iPad Pro, YouTube Music, and much more. So be sure to sit back, relax, get something to eat, or enjoy yourself. So let's get right into this. Let's make sure everything's going well with the stream. Alright, looks like everything's going very well. So basically right now, we're going to get right into it now at this point. So, with that being said, we're going to start off real quickly about a different side note. That's going to be about the techlifetodayco.com website. If you go on techlifetodayco.com right now, you're going to see that there is, right now, we're down for maintenance. So, it's going to be back up tomorrow, the 18th, so don't worry about it, not a big deal. So it'll be back up on the 18th. Don't fret. We have some big changes coming to it, and we can't wait. Like a new design, improvements, and we have a lot of other things to talk about, but we're not really going to state that much in this, only due to us not really want to tell you right now. But you'll find out a lot more on the 18th and more to come. Again, also be sure to follow us on Twitter at techlifetodayco, as well as on Facebook, facebook.com/techlifetodayco. That's mainly where we are most of the time. And looks like we're growing a lot more on there. So thank you guys so much for that. I mean, it's just pretty crazy. But again, it's just meant to sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves, and have a good time. So the first thing we're talking about is the Blackberry Priv. So first off, this is a beautiful phone. I gotta admit, it's the most secure Android smartphone I have seen in a long time. And quite frankly, it has a great design, as you can see here. It has a keyboard, as you can clearly see, which, as you know, Blackberry is known for that. I mean, it has a killer camera, as you can see here. I think it's like an 18 megapixel camera, somewhere around there. Obviously, Android. And quite frankly, it's a beautiful phone. I like it a lot. It's very... I like that phone. I think it's something that's definitely going to be used a lot by companies, like corporate companies or businesses. I think that's going to be something that people are going to want to use. So, quite frankly, I'm a big fan of it. I think it looks pretty awesome. And I have to admit, overall, I'm a big fan. I mean... That's just my personal opinion. See, industries, these are the main industries: healthcare, government, and financial services. That's pretty much the case. That is completely what the truth is. I can see that being the case. I can see how that's the case. Let me see if I can get out of this. Alright, there we go. So here's what the Blackberry Priv looks like. It's a beautiful phone. Don't get me wrong, it's a great phone. It has two-edge screens. It's a beautiful phone. I'm actually considering to buy it one day. I don't know whether I'm going to buy it or not, but overall, I'm very impressed with this phone. I can't say that a lot about a lot of devices. All right, 1 minute, guys. Let me just get some water. Overall, I'm very impressed in this phone. It looks fantastic. It's a beautiful phone. I can't say it's not. I mean, if you compare it to the Note 5, I mean, most likely the Note 5's in most of your opinions, of y'all's messed up there. You all's opinions. You're going to like the Note 5 a little more with the design-wise. However, as a phone, as a general-looking phone, I gotta give it to BlackBerry. I mean, quite frankly, I think this is gonna be the phone that they come back with. This will be their phone, I think. I mean, quite frankly, it's a 5.4-inch dual curved screen, which is beautiful. Look at that. It's gorgeous. All right? It has a 3,410 milliamp battery, which is probably more than enough for a phone of this size. Quite frankly, if you compare it to the Note 5, which is a 5.7-inch 2K screen, that only has a 3,000 milliamp battery. So quite frankly, in that case, I personally do think that I haven't tested the Blackberry Priv. I've tested out the Note 5. It has pretty good battery life, so I'm kind of interested to see what the Blackberry Priv's battery life will be like. Well, I think the main feature, though, will be that keyboard. I think that's going to be the main thing, or main focus point on this device. So see, it's a great phone. It looks good. I mean, it's a little heavy, 192 grams compared to other phones, but quite frankly, you're including the keyboard, you're including all these different things, and quite frankly, as an overall suite, you gotta think it's kind of worth it at that point. It's kind of worth the look. It's kind of worth your money. I think a lot of people are thinking that. Let's see. Obviously, the keyboard that's kind of known. I gotta say, I'm very impressed. 60 years. If you're a tech junkie, here's the resolution. It's not a bad screen at all. 540 pixels per inch, 2560 by 1440 resolution, which is a 2K screen. And if you don't know what that means, just know this: it's a beautiful screen. All right, 60 by 9 aspect ratio. I can't speak today, guys. That means pretty much longer than wide. Um, it's beautiful. It runs Android. It comes with 3 gigs of RAM with the Qualcomm 8992 Snapdragon 808 or Snapdragon 808 hexa-core 64-bit chip, which is pretty much the latest class. Kind of shocked they didn't go for the A10, but I can understand why, because of overheating issues. But at the same time, Qualcomm released version 2.0 of the A10 processor, and they fixed that, supposedly. Micro SD card up to 2 terabytes, which I love that about this phone. USB 2.0, which was kind of shocked they didn't do 3.0, but that's not a big deal. It records in 4K, which is fantastic, quite frankly. Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0, which I like a lot, but again, you have to buy that separately. It has an 18 megapixel rear camera with OIS, and it has, which is kind of semi-disappointing, 2 megapixel front-facing camera. That's kind of disappointing for a phone of this price, which is $799 or $899, somewhere around there. We'll look in a minute, but it's kind of disappointing compared to other phones like the Note 5, which has a 5 megapixel camera. Alright, anything else important? I don't think so. One thing that's kind of disappointing is that it's not on Verizon or Sprint right now. It's just kind of very disappointing. Because quite frankly, if it was on Verizon or Sprint, because I have Sprint, I would tell you right now I'll go out and buy it. But because it's not, it leaves me very disappointed, unfortunately. But that's pretty much the basic specs about it. I gotta say, overall, I'm very impressed with this phone. I'm thinking about getting it. Let me know what you guys think about this particular phone in the comments section down below. I want to hear what you guys think. Quite frankly, I love the phone. It looks fantastic. And quite frankly, this is like the main thing. I love the phone. It came out yesterday, which was the 16th, it started shipping out, and you can buy it now at bestbuy.com or anywhere like that. I gotta say, overall, I am very impressed in this 2015 phone from BlackBerry. I think this is going to be the phone that brings them back to life. Of course, I just X out of, oh my gosh. I X out of our next topic, which was the, iPad Pro. Alright, let me just get this back up real quick. Alright, so here's the iPad Pro. If you haven't heard, last week the iPad Pro was released to everyone. It wasn't only, before it was pre-order. Now it's officially out to everyone. You can buy it now in any store like Best Buy or the Apple Store, Target, anywhere really where it sells it. And if you don't know what the iPad Pro is, or if you haven't heard anything about Apple, it's a 12.9-inch Retina display iPad. And I believe over 5 million pixels, which is crazy. Now, we're on iOS 9, which is kind of disappointing, rather than the OS X or OS 10. Very disappointing, in my opinion, with that being a factor. I think that's very important. In my personal opinion, I think it's very disappointing that they didn't put OS 10 on there, or at least give you the option for OS 10. Quite frankly, if you're comparing this to something like the Microsoft Surface Pro 4, and I've had a chance to use both tablets. Quite frankly, I hate to be rude to Apple, because quite frankly, you can look back at our previous podcast where Giovanni and myself were talking about the iPad Pro in depth. We were both talking about how much we wanted this tablet. We thought this was going to be the tablet of 2015. It was going to stop the Microsoft Surface Pro 4. It was going to stop the competition. It was going to be the computer killer. Unfortunately, in my testing of both tablets, I actually still find the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 to be a better tablet. I mean, quite frankly, I think it's not only I don't know whether it's lighter or not, but I think my personal opinion, the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 is a little more portable. I mean, that's a very important thing when you're considering a tablet or computer replacement. Portability is definitely a factor in that, or else there would be no reason to replace your computer. So in that case, the iPad Pro is kind of heavy, but it's kind of to be understandable. But the main problem with it is that it runs iOS 9. It doesn't run OS 10. I think that's the problem with it, and that's what gets me so mad about it. Chip break. But anyway, I'm very disappointed in that factor. I mean, I think they could have done better. And whether they did or not, whether they would have or not, I don't know. I don't think they would have ever switched. Quite frankly, this is a very important thing. I didn't even think about this. What would have Steve Jobs thought? I mean, what would have he thought about the iPad Pro? Do majority of you think really that he would have liked the idea with the stylus and all that? Absolutely not. I think he would have hated the idea. Now, don't get me wrong, Apple has changed a lot over the past 4 years, 4.5 years. No, 4 years. And I can't say that the iPad Pro is a great product. It's definitely a first generation product, in my opinion, regarding a tablet or computer replacement. Uh, the Microsoft Surface Pro 4, I think, is more elegant or more refined because it's the fourth generation model. Um, in my opinion, at this given juncture, at this given time, I do still think that the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 is a better tablet overall than the iPad Pro. I was using both styluses. The Microsoft Surface Pro 4 feels like an actual pencil. Don't get me wrong. The iPad Pro's Apple Style or Apple Pencil, it's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have the same feeling as the. It doesn't have the same feeling of a pen as the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 does. I mean, with the eraser tip and the metal enclosure or metal body, it makes it more of an elegant device. And I like the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 a little more in that for that reasoning. Does the iPad 4 have a chance, or iPad Pro have a chance? Absolutely. I just think Apple has to do a lot to get there. So, I mean, honestly speaking, at the end of the day, does it really make a difference? No. You're just comparing two different operating systems. You're comparing iOS to Windows. Generally, it would be iOS to Android. Generally, as the majority of you would know. But now you're comparing iOS to Windows. That's a hard comparison. Quite frankly, at the end of the day, I would personally pick Windows. I'm not a Windows fan, don't be wrong. I don't like Windows. But if I had to pick the best computer replacement software, I would, right now, as of today, I would have to personally pick the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 or Windows. However, if Apple next year, or one day, is to come out with, which they better do it sooner rather than later, because if they don't do it sooner, then I think they're going to lose in sales. I think if Apple includes OS 10 or some form of OS 10 or some functionality of OS 10 into the iPad Pro, I'm not saying just copy the software on the OS 10 and plop it onto the iPad Pro and call it a day. No, I think you're going to need some refinements. I think you're going to need some a tablet compatibility, much like the Windows operating system has done for years now. And don't be wrong, they failed in the past, but they're starting to finally get a little better with it with Windows 10. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think Apple needs to close it up a little bit. I don't think iOS is a good operating system for computer replacements like the iPad Pro, as a lot of people would say the iPad Pro. Because quite frankly, no disrespect to Apple, but the $799 price tag for the base model is as much as a very decent computer. And then if you go for the 128 gigs, you're at that point almost $1,000. And then you can, at that point, compare like the MacBook Pro or MacBook Air even. So at the end of the day, I think that a few things that they definitely need to do is lower the price a little bit. be a little more competitive with the Microsoft Surface Pro 4, for people to actually consider it a little more over the Surface Pro 4. And I think another thing that they really need to consider is to form the platform, or make the platform, or put OS 10, or some form of OS 10 onto the iPad Pro. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not saying just to plop on the same software and call it a day. I'm saying to refine it, to refine the software on OS 10 to make it more compatible with the Surface Pro, with the iPad Pro, or with a touchscreen tablet. I think if they do that, there's definitely more of a chance for Apple to succeed in the future with the iPad Pro. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful tablet, and I can't emphasize that enough. It is a really good looking tablet. I just don't think it's there yet. And that's just my opinion. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, because I want to hear what you guys think. Another thing that's kind of crazy is the outrageous prices for the keyboard, $169. Please, that's just... It's not even backlit. That's very disappointing, quite frankly. And the Apple Pencil is $99, which is not a bad price, but, I mean, comparing it to the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 and all the other Surfaces with it being built in, or coming with it, that's a little disappointing. I mean, it's not cheap. It really just isn't cheap. It's not a cheap tablet. Right at this time, there is zero reason to go for the iPad Pro. This is the thing, and a lot of people are talking about this. I wouldn't be making such a big deal about this if Apple didn't call it the iPad Pro. See, people, if they called it like the iPad, I don't know, the iPad Extra Large, or iPad Large, or anything but the iPad Pro, then I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying now. Because don't get me wrong, there's huge tablets that aren't meant to be a computer replacement. They're just meant to be a really nice media consumption tablet. Much like the Samsung Galaxy View, which is a 16-inch tablet. It's not meant to replace your computer. It's just meant to be a tablet, and a tablet only. So the only reason I'm making a big deal about this is because they called it the iPad Pro. I mean, just think of it for a second. Many years ago, when they had the MacBooks, or they had the different name of, or a different line of products, and they came out with the iPad Pro, or the MacBook Pro, it was setting its own category. It was showing that you can do much more on there. You can do groundbreaking things on there, right? It was worth being a computer. It was a powerful machine. Don't get me wrong. The iPad Pro is a very powerful machine, but it's not a computer yet. I think first things first, out of anything, it would be a computer or a tablet. Quite frankly, that's just my opinion. Finally, on the next topic, I'm going to talk about YouTube Red. I don't have a lot of time, so this is going to be a much shorter podcast than normal. So I don't think I'm going to do the 3-minute countdown. And I'll do it, guys, but I might have to head out. So if that's the case, I apologize to the viewers. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. So if I have to head out, I apologize. Again, that's just, I had to head out soon, so I can't promise staying in here for much longer. So I'm going to play a song for the next 3 minutes. I'm going to let you guys relax, enjoy yourselves, and we'll be back in 3 minutes to talk about the final piece, our final topic for today, or for this week, which is the YouTube Music. We're going to try as fast as we can to do that. Alright, so the 3 minutes are up, so we're back here. Thank you to those that were waiting during the time. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the final topic for today. And again, we don't have a lot of time, so we have to end this soon. But that's the YouTube Music. So if you haven't heard, a new app that came out just last week called YouTube Music. Again, you can download it on iOS or Android, and it's an app, again, much like the YouTube Gaming, completely dedicated towards music. So all the songs that are out there, or anything that's pretty much out of the category of music, when you upload a video and you put a category in, for us, science and technology, if you pick music or audio, then it's going to be considered a music. And that will be a video that goes up onto the YouTube Music app. So basically how this works is that you're going to download the app on iOS and or Android. You're going to type in a song. So if you have a YouTube Red subscription, this is the best for you. This is probably the best option. And you can listen to any song that you want. You can change it to audio only, so you don't only listen to audio, not the video itself. You can leave the video, or you can just leave the app, much like you're listening to Spotify. You can have the app playing in the background or the song playing in the background. You can skip, do all that kind of stuff. It's much like a Spotify streaming service, which I like a lot. I think it's pretty cool. And again, it works very well with YouTube Red, which is the main, I think, focus point on it. Again, so you can get ad-free videos, you can get offline playback and that kind of stuff, or without video, obviously. Play songs while using other apps. Again, like I said, it's pretty awesome, but $10, it's a little much, but I think for this going on right now, I'm very impressed with what YouTube's doing. I didn't think it was going to be as well as I thought it was going to be, or I didn't think they were going to do as much as they are doing now with it, with all the stuff that they're recently doing to make YouTube Red a better idea for most viewers. I like what they're doing. I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the future. It's very interesting, to say the least. You download, obviously, as like I said, Android or iOS. Probably going to be preferred, I would assume, on Android, because it's obviously Google's platform. But it's really cool. You can listen to, obviously, the trending tracks, all the latest music, pretty much. Much like how you find the charts on Spotify. Personalized recommendations, that kind of stuff. And I gotta say, it's very cool, to say the least. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below about this. I'm very interested to see what you guys think. Again, I don't know if it's really worth getting or considering, only due to how much it is. If it was $4.99, I would say go right ahead. It's a win. Go for it. It's the best streaming service out there for the price. If it was $4.99, or even I'll even put it out a little bit. Even if it was $6.99, I would say automatically it's the best streaming service out there. But of course, because it's not, and same price as competition like Spotify, it's a little hard to think. And I personally, at this given time, still think Spotify is the best streaming service. I think the best streaming services out there right now are Spotify, Audio, which is kind of shocking to most viewers, but Audio, I love Audio. Apple Music, which I have my opinions on it, and I'd have to say YouTube Music. So those are the top 4 by far. And if I had to cut it down a little more, I would probably say Spotify, Audio, then YouTube Music. I'm not a huge fan of Apple Music, to be honest with you guys. But I would definitely say YouTube Music is definitely in the top 3 right now. And that's kind of good. It's very good for YouTube that they're already in the top 3 and they just came out. So I gotta say, I'm very impressed in the software. I'm very impressed in it. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below about all this that we talked about today. The Surface Pro 4, the iPad Pro, the Blackberry Priv, the YouTube Music, and much more. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below about all this. I'm very interested to see what you guys think about it. Again, we talked about a lot in this week's podcast. Again, be sure to follow us on Twitter at techlifetoday, at techlifetoday.co. That's when you know you're talking too much, or you've been in a stream for almost 30 minutes. Be sure to follow us on, or like our page on Facebook, facebook.com/techlifetoday.co, or at techlifetoday.co, depending on what you want to do. Instagram at techlifetoday.co, general. Stream at techlifetoday.co. We generally post a lot on there, or do a lot of things on there. Periscope at techlifetoday.co. Everything's at techlifetoday.co. I can't emphasize that enough. We have some great plans in the works in the future. A lot of the plans aren't coming until 2016, so that's going to be the kind of case. But we have some pretty incredible plans, and I'm very excited to share them with you in the future. And we're currently in the works with it. So we have some great ideas and some plans that could change the company completely. We're always going to have Techlifetoday Co. But we have ideas on making a different business for different things, and I'm excited to see how that will possibly go in the future. Let me just take one last little thing real quick. Alright. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to let us know if you have any questions whatsoever. We're here to help you out. And again, please let us know. I can't emphasize enough, really. I'm here to help you guys out. Let us know if you have any questions whatsoever. I mean, we've answered songs for any of your questions for years now, and we don't have plans on ever stopping that. So, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to head over to techlifetodayco.com when it gets published on November 18th. We're very excited for the update, and I know a lot of you will be too. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you guys in the next video. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe we'll do another 3-minute countdown. Maybe. We'll do a 1-minute countdown at that point. So let's just end this all real quick. Just turn that on. Alright, here's the monitor. And I will actually keep the logo up. Or not. Okay, clearly we're not doing that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we hope to see you guys in the next Techlifetoday weekly podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.